Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy,
All I do is win, no matter what.
Chaz, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay Coleman, what's up, dog?
What's going on, boys?
And back for the attack, we have the fantasy football surgeon himself,
Hey, like a surgeon.
Zags. What's up, bro? Where you been?
What's up, man? You boys miss me?
We did miss you. Yeah, I even missed you on the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast, too.
Oh, I only missed one, though, right?
One too many, bro.
Well,
For us, you missed like 2 or 3, but
Yeah.
well, we're gonna see what I bring to this conversation, then you can decide if it was
We're not
worthy having me
He's,
or not.
he's had 3 weeks of prepping.
we're not expecting much, Dave. It's all good.
What did I say when you asked me what time we're doing? Or when I asked what time we're doing this? 10 minutes.
Yeah. You were like, I'm like 9 o'clock today. We do it a little early, and for anyone that's going to be watching the stream, I always say 10 o'clock, but we decided to go early today. It's 9 o'clock, so hopefully some people get the notification. And
It's 9:30, but
it is 9:30. Well, we were chatting. We had some shit to chat about, and here we are. And we have no viewers on Twitch right now.
Chaz-
Oh God, I'm hearing myself.
Chaz's background is what we were chatting about.
Yeah, we were. It's a beautiful thing. So all I want to do right now, why I got the floor, is make sure everybody knows that we are live on Twitch. So let me post that out, and then we'll get rolling. So what are we here to talk about today, Jay?
AFC North and NFC North.
AFC North and NFC North, and those I feel like this is going to be fun because they're such. How would you describe the AFC North and the NFC North? I would say the best words to describe this is they're just fucking wild. They're wild cards,
Yeah.
right? Does that sound about right, Dave? What do you think? Wild cards, is that the best?
This is probably the best way to do, like, the wild, wild west of the NFL right now. Like, who knows? Who knows what's coming out of there?
Any one of these teams could be the top.
Right, and like, who knows? You're right. That's a perfect. Who knows? Detroit was great last year. Is that real? Green Bay was great last year. Is that real? Right. Chicago seems like they're going to be great this year with the new team. Is that real?
Yeah.
And that's only the NFC. And then who knows about Minnesota? And then you go on the AFC side. The Bengals, are they going to be back, or is Joe Burrow going to be hurt again? The Steelers going to make the fucking playoffs again?
Yep.
No.
So I mean, it's an interesting, like, and the Ravens. So the Ravens, are they still the class? Probably. In Cleveland, are they going to make the playoffs again? Like, it's such a it's so weird. It's a random group of teams that I don't know. Like, it's a random group of teams that I don't believe anything in. I'm not sold on any of them, except maybe the Ravens, but we'll get into that more.
Yeah, I don't think you can discount the Ravens right now. You can't tell me that losing Odell Beckham and gaining Derrick Henry is going to make them any worse.
True. Very true. But all the other teams, like, who knows? But talking about the Baltimore Ravens, Dave, why don't we start with the Baltimore Ravens? Because what the hell, my sound drops are like froze. Well, can't use the sound drops. Why don't we start with those Baltimore Ravens, because they're the first one that come off alphabetically. So we have them pulled up here. So, Jay, why don't you tell me about all of these key additions they have?
All to your man crush, Derrick Henry, and offensive line, Josh Jones.
Derrick Henry is such an upgrade over anything they've had recently. I mean, think about what Gus Edwards did in this offense. Scored 12, 14 touchdowns in this offense because he's kind of a big bumbly back, and they just brought in one of the greatest big backs of all time.
I mean, I say this all the time. The one thing that the Ravens are always missing is a workhorse running back. They're always, like, when's the last time you were really excited about a Ravens running back? Like Ray Rice, maybe?
Ray Rice, yeah.
Probably. That's about it.
Yeah, like, and then everything after that has just been like we're gonna put three, like, and I use this term lightly, but we're gonna put three bums out there and just kind of figure it out. You know what I mean?
And then all three bums get hurt for the entire season every year.
That's true. Very true. You're not lying on that. But let me just coincide something with what I'm saying about bringing in the king. All right. So we are going to go with some of his recent stats. Now, granted, he just turned 30 years old, but he is a monster. So I'm not holding it against him. So I'm going to go. He's been in the league since 2016, right? And he really got cooking in first two seasons. He was a backup. 2018 is when he started cooking. So here is his yardage stats from 2018 on. 1,059, 1,540, 2,027. He played 8 games and had almost 1,000 in 8 games, 1,538, 1,167. It's pretty monstrous. Let's go over the touchdowns in that time, the same time frame. 12, 16, 17, 10, 13, and 12. The man is – so even last year when he slowed down a step, he was still averaging 4.2 yards a carry, scored 12 touchdowns. Is he slowing down a step?
It's got to happen, and it's going to happen sooner than later. He's got
Saints Joe in the
he's
chat.
got so many miles on him, but he is a freak of nature. But I mean, I don't know.
But what's up to Saints Joe and Rico in the chat? But to be fair to him now, he doesn't have to be Derrick Henry of Tennessee anymore. He doesn't, because he has a quarterback. He has the NFL MVP at quarterback.
And I'm just gonna say real quick that I do think that there's a good possibility that his touchdowns go down, and I know he's gonna slow down a little bit, but I don't think this is a disadvantage at all to him. I mean, has he ever had a mobile quarterback before?
No. I mean, Tannehill's somewhat mobile, but it's a different.
It's a different.
Oh well, Mariota.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a different beast, right? You're gonna have to respect the fact that Lamar can just take off, right? So it's like, is he gonna have more openings? Are they gonna stack the box on him less, knowing that they gotta spy Lamar? That I don't know. I see his touchdowns going down a little bit.
I don't, Dave. I don't. You know why I don't? Because Gus Edwards had 12 touchdowns last year.
Gus Edwards is kind of fluky touchdowns, though, right?
Sure, but Derrick Henry is not fluky. So, that's why I'm not saying it. Okay, Saints Joe's losing his mind that says Henry to the Ravens is gross, and they're going to be the team to beat the Chiefs in the AFC.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I'm not against it. So I love him. I know, and he's actually going later in drafts than I expected. Shut up with the wallpaper slander. This is ridiculous.
Well,
everybody
he's
at home.
going later because I think Dave's right, and his touchdowns are going to go down. So you're definitely going to lose points to touchdowns.
I don't want to call 12 touchdowns because that's a lot to say. But for the man to never score less than 12 touchdowns, and for just Gus Edwards to score 12 touchdowns last year, makes me think it's possible. It really does. He only needs to run 1 yard to score a touchdown.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, but
yeah, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm saying there's the possibility that the touchdowns go down.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know how much I love Derrick Henry. Push him as far back in the draft as you want, because it only makes it better for me. Go ahead. Push him even further back. Push him to the 4th round. Go ahead and do that.
You boys want to do a sleeper mock draft later?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do a sleeper mock draft later, because in the mock draft that I saw, he went in the 3rd round.
Exactly.
I think that's insane.
That's absurd.
Insane, honestly.
I would love to get Derrick Henry as my RB2 in the 3rd
Right?
round.
Start off with Christian McCaffrey and get a receiver and then Derrick Henry? Fuck.
No.
Forget about it. And Saints Joe saying in the chat that 12 TDs is his floor this year. I mean, that's a lot to say, but man, he's something special. You guys know I love him, right? But we do have to mention, Jay, they did lose a few people, so why don't you tell us who they lost?
Linebacker Patrick Queen, edge Jadeveon Clowney, Gus Edwards, Geno Stone, Morgan Moses, John Simpson, Kevin Zelter, and Ronald Darby.
First of all, did you guys know Ronald Darby was still in the league?
Yes, I did.
No,
Okay, I didn't.
I did not.
Losing Patrick Queen is huge. Losing Clowney hurts. I mean, he's a good pass rusher. Losing Kevin Zeitler, he used to be a great tackle. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know about fucking tackles in the NFL. So I can't act like that. James is in the chat. What's up, James? So it's, I don't know. They did lose some defensive things, but they still are the Ravens. They're still going to have a good defense. Oh, and by the way, they have the NFL MVP, and they have Derrick Henry now. Need I say more?
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody's doubting you that the Ravens are definitely a team to beat.
So we'll just move on to Dave's favorites from last year that let him down, Dave. The Cincinnati Bengals. You were very high on them last year, and they let you down. We can all admit that. So are we holding angst towards them? Let's find out.
You know I can never be mad at Joey B.
So do you have it pulled up, Dave? Why don't you tell me about their key additions?
Key additions: tackle Trent Brown, defensive tackle. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins, safety Von Bell, TE Mike Gesicki, safety Geno Stone, and running back Mr. Zach Moss.
I like what they did, to be honest. Trent Brown's a great tackle for them to add. Adding Sheldon Rankings only bolsters their run defense. Von Bell is underrated. Mike Gesicki in this offense, they need some help at tight end. He's been productive before. And then adding Zach Moss, a very boring running back, to replace Joe Mixon, a very boring running back. To be quite honest, I think I love what they did. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. They were pretty bad last year, but Joey B was hurt. So even though someone in this podcast said he was going to be the number one QB,
better than Josh Allen is what he said.
yes.
Dude got hurt, man. What do you want me to do?
Joe in the chat, Saints Joe wants to know, Dave, if you are going to take 5 running backs to start the draft again this year.
Absolutely not. No, that was a strategy that I wanted to try and did not pan out for me.
In looking at their additions, they lost Jonah Williams, is good, DJ Reader, Joe Mixon, Chidobe, Awuzie, Irv Smith, Nick Scott, and Tyler Boyd. Looking here, their remaining cap space has $24 million. So $24 million, why can't they get a deal with T. Higgins done? But when you do that, you're going to have zero money after that, right? So,
right. And it might not even be just so much about the money. It could be just a, we're sick of hearing you bitch situation.
We'll get our official predictions later, but obviously if the team is healthy, I still think they can be good and make some noise. But as I said the last 2 years, I think they're a bit overrated.
Yeah.
So maybe people are coming down on my side of the fence now a little. Still think they'll be a good team. Joe Burrow's great. Jamar Chase, I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the NFL. I know JJ gets, that moniker, but I still think it's Jamar. That's 1 and 2, no matter how you look at it. So I mean, I think they can get it done. So it's funny because there's not really a lot to talk about because there's such a, as I said earlier, a wild card. Like, we don't know. It all depends on if Joe Cool can be healthy for one season. For the love of Christ, can he be healthy for one season?
We'll see.
Right now he's batting 1 out of 4. So
it all comes down to Burrow, man. I mean, if Burrow stays healthy the whole season, the Bengals will be good. And if he
here's the question though: does that mean they're a good team, Dave? Because the next team we're going to talk about is the Cleveland Browns. They made the playoffs with their backup quarterback and their backup running back, and the Bengals just fell apart last year, even with Burrow playing. So, how is that possible, Dave? Well, what is the disconnect?
I think I think people are looking at it all wrong, man. Like, last year was a very fluky year for for Joe Burrow especially. He gets hurt, okay, that's fine, and he comes back and he just never looked like himself. And I think he has some time. He's got some time to recover. He had the offseason to kind of clear his head, whatever. If Joe Burrow comes back and is the quarterback that we think he is, the Bengals are going to be fine. It's the same argument that I have with the Bills. It's like, okay, if Josh Allen goes down, this season is over. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing for the Bengals.
Please
get the fuck out of here, bro. Listen, Josh Allen is the fucking team.
Kermit the Frog here.
Whoops, wrong one.
If Allen goes down, the Bills are done. If Burrow goes down, the Bengals are done.
Kermit the Frog.
Stop!
here.
I didn't press anything. I didn't even press anything. Why did it just do that? Patrick, are you invading our conversation, Patrick?
He
Because
just,
we're
wants,
not
to,
talking.
he just
about
wants
your-
to mention, okay? If Patrick Mahomes goes down, the Chiefs are done. It's just one of those teams.
Unfortunately, the Bengals don't have a great coach either. So I mean,
I've just been saying that for 3 years. So,
it doesn't really help either.
Zach, Saints Joe wants to know: have you been hitting the gym, bro? He said you look swelly.
Appreciate you, Joe. No, I'm not. I'm just slouching and I'm wearing black because I'm getting a little chunky.
Well, let's move on to the next team we're going to talk about, and that is the Cleveland Browns. And Jay, why don't you tell me their key additions?
Well, Saints Joe didn't address this guy by the proper name in chat, but Big Booty
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy,
That's right, Big Booty Jerry Duty.
Quentin Jefferson, Jordan Hicks, Deontay Foreman, Devin Bush, Jameis Winston, and Naheem Hines.
Now to pair that with their losses of Joe Flacco, Anthony Walker, Sione Tataki, Harrison Bryant, and Nick Harris. So you can't deny they had a great offseason.
Yeah, I
Because-
mean, a lot of good players added.
Bringing in Quentin Jefferson is great on the D-line. Bringing in Jerry Jeudy to play the slot is exactly what they needed for Amari Cooper. And then Jordan Hicks is a good player. And Dante Foreman is the perfect replacement if Nick Chubbs goes down. Like, I mean, not perfect, but like he's just a big bruising back, and that's what Nick Chubb is.
We're assuming that Chubb's even going to be ready.
Yeah.
So
He'll be around. He hurt himself the first week of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
he'll
know,
be
but
around.
he's-
He's old. It doesn't mean he'll be there week one. But, I mean, he's someone – and we haven't really talked too much about fantasy because you know what you're getting out of those last two teams. But that's right to bring this up because this is an interesting team for fantasy because I'll tell you, towards the end of the year last year, Amari Cooper was fucking awesome. He single-handedly won me the second last game of the season to get to the championship because he had like a 54-point game. Amari Cooper turned it up last year. Jerry Jeudy has done nothing in the NFL, but being in this system where they could pepper the slot receiver could be great for him. And then Nick Chubb is a wild card because you know what? Their running backs did okay, but if you guys remember correctly, at the beginning of last year, I picked Nick Chubb to win the rushing title because this team pounds the ball.
Yep.
So if Nick Chubb is healthy, he could still be great. And I know he's coming off an ACL, and that's scary, but he's not like an explosive back. I don't know if it's going to hinder him as much as people think. It just depends on when he can play. All right. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Joe. You're right. And Njoku had a great season, too. So they're all draftable assets, right?
I don't know, dude. For me, this team is just full of question marks. I feel like every position outside of Njoku, you're just like, I don't want to say you're throwing a dart, but you're definitely like risking it.
Yeah.
You're risking it for Amari Cooper.
I mean,
Seriously, why is that a risk? I'm asking.
Because seriously, you're all depending on Deshaun Watson.
No, I mean, he did it without Deshaun Watson last year.
Right, but it's still a different guy throwing him the ball. You know what I mean? Like he had a different report. Like I don't know. Like I say this all the time. A wide receiver is obviously going to catch some balls, right? But like it really depends on like the team overall, right? So does Nick Chubb come back? Are they able to run the ball the way they want to run the ball? Does Deshaun perform the way that like they've paid him to perform? What role does Jerry Jeudy have here? Like is Foreman going to start splitting? Like I don't. There's just a lot of question marks here for me.
Yeah.
I think you guys in the fantasy community in general is sleeping on Amari Cooper a bit because, and the reason I say that is these last 2 years with the Browns with shitty quarterback play under Joe Flacco or shitty Deshaun Watson have been the best 2 years of his career. Would you imagine that that's true? Would you
Yeah, I
think that
would.
these last 2 years were the best years of this guy's long career? He had 1,250 yards and 1,160 yards in each season, and he had 5 and 9 touchdowns. The most receiving touchdowns he ever had with the Browns 2 years ago, 9 touchdowns. The most yards he ever had in a season this past year with the Browns.
Okay. Well, can you I want you to try to confidently answer this question. Amari Cooper this year in fantasy, does he does he have more points, the same amount of points, or less points than last year? And can you confidently answer that?
Well, let me pull up what kind of points he did have. So I'm right here right now. So the wide receivers for 2023 in PPR, right? We're going to PPR. So let's see where Amari Cooper is. So Amari Cooper finished 20. So he finished with 227 fantasy points. That's around, here's the people above and below him. From 18, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper, DK Metcalf, Nuke Hopkins. So he had as many points as Devontae Smith, who we're high on. He had 4 points less than Chris Olave and Deebo Samuel that everyone was taking in the second round last year. So, yeah, I feel he can repeat it. I do.
You confidently feel he can repeat it?
I feel he can repeat it because you're not drafting him. No, I don't think he's getting drafted as the 20th wide receiver, but maybe he is. But he finished 20. He finished above DK Metcalf. He finished above DeAndre Hopkins. He finished above Garrett Wilson, folks. That's going in the first round. He finished above Rashee Rice, George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, Justin Jefferson. He finished above Jalen Waddle. So, I think people are sleeping on him a little bit. That doesn't mean take him in the second round, but I think he's a can't miss. I mean, a can't miss wide receiver 2 or 3. Could do way worse than a guy that finished 20th overall last year.
I don't know. I mean, if you're confident about it, I'm not saying he's going to be a bad wide receiver. I'm just saying I have questions. You know, there was times that Deshaun Watson came in and just looked fucking abysmal. He looked fucking terrible. And if you have to deal with that for a whole season,
bro, the guy lived off of Derek Carr. He can.
There was footage of Deshaun Watson where I'm I would probably fucking put in Derek Carr right now and be happy about it. He looked abysmal. I'm not kidding. He looked awful.
Yeah, he definitely did look bad.
But in these past 2 years, with and without him, he's had the best 2 seasons of his career. So I think people are sleeping on him. That's all. I mean, I thought he was the most interesting. What about Njoku? Are you guys buying his big season after 5 years last year? It took him 5 years to have that big season. Are we buying it?
No, I'm 50-50.
Shocker alert. I'm going to go negative, but no, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. You're always negative. You're never negative.
Okay, but here's my deal, right? You got Njoku last year on kind of a steal. You know what I mean? But after the year that he had last year, you know that you're gonna, and especially because tight end's so thin, you're gonna get guys that are that want to get him. You know what I mean? If you don't get the top 3 or 4 tight ends, people are gonna be targeting him.
I think he's going 8th tight end, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I really am. In my blind rankings, I haven't done him yet. He's 6th. I mean, just off the top of my head, obviously, Kelsey, Laporta, Mark Andrews, right?
Right.
And then you got Hawk, but Hawk's hurt for half the year, right? So you got the kid from Arizona. I'm blanking on his name. McBride. So those are probably your top 4. And then what? You're going to go George Kittle, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Or why not Njoku? Or you're going to go Dalton Kincaid? Those are probably the next few coming off right there. Kyle Pitts, those. I mean, there's all question marks about all of them.
Kyle, but let's not get crazy.
Kyle George Kittle's going to miss half the season. So, right there. George Kittle's going to miss half the season. Dalton Kincaid, probably Dalton Kincaid above him.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts with a new quarterback, who knows? David Njoku, 1 good season out of 6, right? It's just who knows?
I don't know. I feel if I'm drafting my TE that late, I'm probably going to take a flyer on Hawk and Kittle and just grab a bum to get me through.
Then hope to get Hawk by God. He hurt himself late in the year, dude. I don't know when he's coming back.
I don't know.
Can't be any worse than you and Adam putting your faith in fucking Kyle Pitts every year to be let down.
Well, Saints Joe's calling in the chat because Pitts with Cousins, give it to me all day. I know Kirk Cousins doesn't throw to the tight end. T.J. Hawkinson was garbage, so right. So yeah, no.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
If Kyle Pitts doesn't fucking put it together this year with Kirk Cousins, I never want to hear that dude's fucking name again.
Fair. Very fair.
I'm with Dave because we've been hearing it fucking for years between you and Adam.
The
And
guy's
every
gonna-
year you guys are like, oh, yeah, he's the best tight end, blah, blah, blah.
Does Adam
Oh, my
like him?
God.
think
And
Adam
every
likes him.
year I'm right.
The guy's gonna be fucking 40 years old before he turns in a season.
I don't think Adam likes him. I like him. I don't think Adam likes him.
No, you guys always talk about how great he's going to be.
He's just talented motherfucker, just like Brock Bowers, right? So I still think he's more talented than Brock Bowers, but he's gone from that shitty system. But we'll see. So Jay, is the wife around? Because we're about to talk about her.
She's probably watching on live stream.
Is she on live stream? Well, if the wife is there, get ready because we're talking about your team. And Saints Joe's calling him Pitts for over 1K this year. He's going to bet on it. I'd be interested in that bet.
You can't
did it
trust him. He
before.
drafts an entire offense of Saints players. So, I mean,
Ooh, you're getting called out, bro. You're getting called out. So we're talking about. We're going to move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going a little faster this one because we want to do a mock draft. So I think they had an interesting offseason. I'll start with the key losses. They lost Kenny Pickett, Dave's favorite. Dave drafted him in his favorite quarterbacks of all time.
That's
Kenny
my
Pickett.
boy right there.
They lost Deontay Johnson. They lost Mitch Trubisky. Mitch, please. They lost James Pierre, Chumaka Okafor, Armin Watts, and Mika Walker. But Jay, who did your second favorite team bring in?
your favorite quarterback, Russ Wilson. And
God,
Justin Fields.
That is not the right drop.
You suck at drops.
It's all messed up today. Holy shit.
Before I was rudely interrupted with the wrong drop, they also got Justin Fields, Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson, Quez Watkins, Dean Lowry, Deshaun Elliott, Van Jefferson, and McCoyle Pruitt.
Okay. Sorry, I had to unplug the stream deck. Okay, are we good now?
Unlimited.
There it is.
Yes.
So from the names that you said, I mean Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, you just went from the worst quarterback situation to a fine. You know, like
Yeah,
it
mid.
could be
Mid.
a lot worse.
Could be.
Listen, say what you want about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. If you factor in the salary cap of what they did in the QB room, this is fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean,
Russell Wilson was great, actually, comparatively to how he's been. He was great last year.
if you look at the value per dollar, like their QB room is pretty stacked for what they're paying for it.
Well, yeah, because they're only giving Russ $1 million because he's getting like $80 gazillion million from his other team.
Well, that's the Broncos' fault. I'm not.
So, like, obviously, it's going to work out for them when you're only paying them $1 million because the fucking Broncos are idiots.
You still have the chance that Justin Fields under Russell Wilson could put it together. I mean, he's still young. He's only been in the league 3 years. Still a chance. They gave up on Kenny Pickett, no problem. But, like, Kenny Pickett was so garbage. But I think the issue they have is, Jay, who's their number 2 receiver this year?
I don't know.
Is it Van Jefferson?
Yeah, probably. Let me
Is it No, it's probably Cordarrelle Patterson.
get the depth chart.
Or did they put him back to
Who did they draft?
Roman Wilson later? Right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think Roman Wilson later.
I think they're just kind of going into it.
Yeah, right now it's Pickens and Van Jefferson, and then Roman Wilson.
All right. Interesting. Dave's calling them a sneaky pick to make the playoffs this year. Didn't they make it this last year? Or was it the year before?
I didn't say they were a sneaky pick to make the playoffs.
I'm sorry. Joe said that.
Oh,
Did they make the playoffs this year? Or was that the year? No, we beat them in the playoffs this year. The Bills, didn't they?
I think so.
Right.
yeah.
So they made the playoffs this past year. So
I want whatever drugs Saints shows on tonight.
they're from Louisiana, I promise you. Is that all the AFC North?
Yes.
yes.
So is anyone taking out the Ravens?
Probably not.
No.
You too. You're saying the Ravens. Okay.
No, I mean, I think the Bengals make it close, but I just think the addition of Derrick Henry is going to be too much.
That's fucking huge. All right. Well, then we're going to go to the NFC North now. And we are going to talk about my favorite team to shit on last year, and they shit in my face, of the Detroit Lions. So, looking at their offseason, they had an A-plus grade here because they did a pretty good job. They brought in Marcus Davenport, Carlton Davis, DJ Reader, Armick Robertson, and Kevin Zeitler. And 90% of those guys were all defense, where they needed a lot of help last year. And they drafted some defense as well. They did lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jonah Jackson, Benito Jones, and Josh Reynolds, but I feel like they replaced what they lost and got some. They have, the fourth highest paid quarterback in the league now, and they still have $28 million.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the fantasy options, I really think Gibbs and Montgomery is interesting because Gibbs and Montgomery finished similar last year, and everyone's taking Montgomery or Gibbs in the first round and forgetting about Montgomery. Montgomery was pretty damn good as well last year. So I think Montgomery's a steal later in the draft.
Gibbs is tough in the first round, right? Because you know there's going to be a split. But I do honestly, after last season, see it. I do see it being more of Gibbs' backfield now. You know what I mean? It should be more. It just should be more of his backfield. Now, who the fuck knows what Dan Campbell's going to do?
Right.
But I would say just based on performance,
Chaz said Gibbs was going to be shit all last year.
I never said he's going to be shit.
It really should be more of a 70-30 split now. But
I said it was going to be more of Montgomery's backfield, and guess what? I was completely right until Montgomery got hurt. And I was completely right because Gibbs didn't get cooking till week 10 when Montgomery got hurt. Montgomery was leading the league in touchdowns by week 7 or something. You know, it was totally what I saw. And then he got hurt and Gibbs took off. So, but I think people are overvaluing Gibbs and undervaluing Montgomery. I think they're going to end up being closer to the finished rankings than people realize. People are taking Gibbs as the 5th running back and Montgomery as 25th. Well, they're probably going to both end up somewhere in the teens, I think.
Yeah.
You know, really, I do.
I said it should be more of Gibbs' backfield. I'm not taking him in the first round. There's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way I'm using my first pick on Jahmyr Gibbs. Just
how are you
happening.
taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon and Kyron and even though I'm afraid of Blake Corum, if you're afraid of Blake Corum, you should be way more afraid of David Montgomery.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and Saquon being there, and it's just, it's a tough sell. But how do we feel? Obviously, and St. Joe's going to take him in the first round. Please do. Go ahead. And obviously, we love Amon-Ra St. Brown. The wild card on this team, I think Sam Laporta is still going to be a great pick, but the wild card is Jameson Williams. Is he going to do something?
I don't know. They said that. What was it last year? I think they said until he learns to run routes or block or whatever the fuck it was, then he wasn't going to be used that much. So
I'm pretty sure on his first pass reception was an 80-yard touchdown.
Yes.
It kind of shows his explosiveness.
Yeah, but it's a one-trick pony.
It very well could be.
Are you gonna draft Jameson Williams in a redraft league and feel great about it? No, you shouldn't. I mean, is he a flyer in a best ball league? Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing with Jameson Williams. For the first time in his career, this is only his 3rd season he's starting. For the first time in his career, there's no question marks on him. Meaning, his rookie year, he was coming in off of the ACL tier. His second year, he was coming in suspended. So you're always questioning on him and when's he going to play and blah blah blah. But you don't have that this year.
his numbers were abysmal last year, so
They were though. I guess there's questions there.
24 receptions, only 350 yards. He was only 50% of catching his targets. I mean, yikes.
I guess that is the question mark. Yes, is he good?
Yeah.
Okay, how do we feel about Jared Goff? Because he is very controversial, and he was way better last year than any of us wanted to admit. He finished as the 7th best fantasy quarterback last year. Is he doing it again?
I haven't done my rankings yet, but in a 12-man league, he's probably a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if he's going to break the top 10 again, but he definitely has a chance. But
Well, what I want to say is the last 2 years, he's finished 10th and then 7th. So he got better this year. So he was a top 10 the year before, and then he was 7th this year. So here's the top 10 rankings from last year. We'll do 12. The top 12 rankings to remind everybody from last year. Number 12 was C.J. Stroud. Number 12 was Sam Howell. Number 11 was C.J. Stroud. Number 10 was Baker Mayfield. Number 9 was Tua. Number 8 was Patrick Mahomes. Number 7 was Jared Goff. He had a better season. So players at Jared Goff had better seasons than fantasy football-wise. Patrick Mahomes, Tua, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert. I know there's injuries here and stuff, but come on, man. I think the guy deserves a little respect put on his name.
I mean, yeah, definitely we are, but yeah, I don't know.
He's earned a little respect, and he got his big contract, so obviously the team believes in him too. So, and if their defense didn't get any better, every game's going to be a fucking shootout. So, and he plays 8 home games in a dome, and Minnesota plays in the dome. Right, so that's another 2 games that he has. So he's got at least 10 games in a dome, if not more. And he's always a much better home quarterback than road. So I think he needs a little respect put on his name. So we won't pick the division winners till the end, but obviously since they won it, they need to be kept in mind. But the team that was just behind them to surprise everybody was the Green Bay Packers. And I think they had a pretty good offseason. They brought in Josh Jacobs, Greg Joseph, which they needed some kicker help, and Xavier McKinney. What did they lose, Jay?
David Bakhtiari, who hasn't played in like 17 years anyway, so I don't really care. Devondre Campbell, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Owens, John Runyon, and Darnell Savage.
They upgraded. I'm sorry, Josh Jacobs over Aaron Jones is an upgrade. Is anyone going to argue that?
No. Definitely an upgrade.
I got nothing. No.
You were quiet there, so you scared me for a second.
No, I got nothing. Fuck Aaron Jones.
So they upgraded that. Jordan Love had a breakout season. He was great. He was top 5 or 6? He finished 5 last year.
Yeah, 5.
Jordan Love was a top 5 quarterback last year with no weapons. Right? So he made all these teams look good. He made all these players look good. He's bringing in a bona fide beast of a running back. And I think he's going to just take off. I mean, why can't he have just as good as a season? Why can't he be better? So he's only second year starting. I love Jordan Love. I mean, I don't think he's going to be in my top 5 rankings. But I love Jordan Love. Okay, are you taking Jordan Love or are you taking Jared Goff?
Jay?
Jordan Love, probably.
What do you think?
I'm taking Jordan Love.
All you need is love.
As much as I hate to say it. But, dude, I talked about this, right? Like, if Jordan Love, for whatever reason, just takes forever to get going, dude. Like, if the dude could figure out how to be elite like he is in the 3rd and 4th quarter in the first half of the game, the dude would be a fantasy monster.
He was, though. He was a top 5 quarterback, and he put it together. That was his first year starting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, he's already good. Like, dude, if he figures out how to be that good in the first part of the game, like, he's a monster, like a fantasy monster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've seen Jared Goff's ceiling. I mean, I think we've probably seen him get as good as he's going to get. Jordan Love, I don't think we've seen it yet.
Very, very true. And we always have the
You're
debate.
right about that, too.
And we always have the debate about, is it going to be, is it going to be Love or Purdy? Because they're so similar and so different. And they finished right fucking next to each other last year in fantasy stats. Are you taking the not as talented quarterback with the great weapons or the great quarterback with the no weapons? It's such an interesting dichotomy between them, and the simple fact that they finished, they were finished 5 and 6, but Jordan Love had 24 more points. So it's interesting. I want to say, so where are you taking them right now? Which one are you taking out of those two? Just off the top of your head.
I'm still taking Love over Purdy.
Yeah, me too, probably.
Okay,
it's the same argument. Like, we haven't seen Brock Purdy as much, but I still feel like we've kind of seen what he's got to offer. Like, the upside on Love is just but we don't know how good he could be.
I mean, you've seen Purdy more than Love. Purdy has more starts than Love. Love only started 1 year. Purdy
yeah,
started
no, that's
2
what I'm
years.
saying. Like
Yeah.
we've seen more of Purdy, but I know we haven't seen like a lot of him as much as we've seen Jared Goff. But like, I think we've seen what he is. You know what I mean? It's the same argument. We don't know what Love is. Like, we don't know how Love could be. So like,
What is Love, Dave?
I don't know, but hopefully it's
What is love? David, don't hurt me.
hopefully it's a dude that you can draft late in your league and then ends up getting you like 480 something points.
I'll tell you, I got so lucky last year because I bought into your hype, and in my fantasy football family league, I took Jamar Chase in the first round and backed him up in like the 5th with Joe Burrow. So as we know, but when Burrow went down, I was like, I'm gonna pick up Jordan Love. I'll be all right. And boy, was I all right, you know. So I got lucky in that league, but I still lost. Fucking sister beat me. Goddamn bitch. I hope she doesn't hear this. And obviously, I love Josh Jacobs. I know Adam does. What do you guys take on?
So do I. So
Love
I
you
mean,
too. I think Dave's a little mad on him. Seems like.
Fuck Jack. No, fuck Josh Jacobs.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Dave's always negative.
Double J here again.
Josh Jacobs.
Here's the thing with Josh Jacobs, right? You know that for whatever reason they're not going to use him to the best of his abilities. You know Green Bay's not.
Why do you say that? They used every player they had to the best of their abilities last year, and I'm giving God. What's that coach? There's so many McDaniels, McCarthy's, What's their fucking coach?
McFleur.
Mike LaFleur.
Matt
Matt
LaFleur.
LaFleur.
Matt
There's all these
LaFleur.
Mikes and Matts and okay, so Matt LaFleur. He used that team. Jaden Reed came out of nowhere. Romeo Doubs came out of nowhere. The tight ends had great games. I mean, even Aaron Jones was great when he was healthy. Like, he used that team to the best of their abilities. This is a guy that's coming. Josh Jacobs is a talented running back. 2 years ago was the number one running back in the NFL. Now leaving Josh McDaniels, one of the grossest coaches, and going to a guy that seems to be pretty well off as a running back or as an offensive coach.
They still got Dylan though, right?
Well,
They don't know how to use
What does
Dylan
that
though,
mean?
so I mean,
They're gonna like that's what I'm saying. Like they're still going to try to play Dylan. You know what I mean? And that means Josh Jacobs really has to fill in the Aaron Jones role, where he's more of like a pass catcher. You know what I mean?
so what's wrong with that in fantasy?
It's great for fantasy, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like they're just not gonna use him right now. I don't know if Josh Jacobs is that guy.
I think he might be being slept on a little bit because that offense was great last year, and I think that's a huge addition for them. I think people are still planning on them to going out and getting a big receiver when they don't need it, obviously.
Where
They
is
did-
where is Josh Jacobs getting drafted right now? What
We will have to find when we do our mock draft, but I think it's like late second.
late second? Yes, it's
Before Derrick Henry, I think.
that's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Well, we'll
That's
find out when we do our mock.
Crazy that you would take Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry.
So rank the receivers. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. How are you going to draft those three, Jay?
I don't know, because I'm torn with Watson because he can be great, but then he's fucking hurt or some other bullshit. But I don't know if I had to say right now, probably Dobbs, Watson, and the other guy.
You're going Dobbs first. Okay. I'm going opposite. I'm going Jaden Reed first. That man took over that receiving core at the end of the year. And honestly, as much as I was big on Dobbs and loved Dobbs, he made Dobbs disappear towards the end of the season. 'Cause I got Dobbs pulled up right here. Dobbs in the last, from week 12 on, here's Dobbs's points from week, we'll say 11. So 11 he scored. Wait, is this PPR? It's standard. So let me get
Yeah.
back to PPR just to be safe. Do you have him there?
Well, yeah, he finished 25th. Dobbs finished 37th, and then
Right, but look at look at Dobbs's points and tell me from Dobbs from week 11 on points, and I'll tell you Jaden Reed's. What did Dobbs do week 11? Actually, here I want to be fair to Jaden Reed here. Jaden Reed 6 points. Week 2 he had 20, 9, 10, 1, 7 bye. So week 6 they're at the bye. All right, so week 7, 11, week 8, 12, week 9, 7. All right, Jay, let's go from 10 on with Dobbs. What did Dobbs have at 10?
14.4.
Jaden Reed had 19.4. Week 11.
15.2.
19.2. Week 12.
11.
15. Week 13.
1.6.
5.6. Week 14.
12.5.
20.5. Week 15.
11.2.
17.2. Week 16.
Bye.
Week 17.
20.9.
26.9. Week 18.
11.
15.2. He outscored him every week at the end of the season for the last 7 weeks. So I think, as much as I was a big Dobbs fan last year, I think Jaden Reed is the man now. I think he is their number one, and I think I'm going to take Christian Watson second just because of its possible explosion. And as much as I love Dobbs, he's going 3. What do you think, Dave?
I actually got it. Reed, Dobbs, Watson. Jaden Reed's the wide receiver 1 in this room, I think. I had Jaden Reed last year. He was either my wide receiver 2 or my flex for like most of the fantasy playoffs. So like, I don't know. I saw what he did, and he's definitely the wide receiver 1. Watson, I don't know, dude. I think he might have lost his chance to like be meaningful in this offense.
No, I still think Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs are very similar. That's why it's like, if you noticed, Romeo Dobbs was great at the beginning of the season last year. Jaden Reed was great at the end of the season last year because they kind of like switched roles, where I think Watson has his own role carved out.
I feel like they're still going to ride the hot wide receiver, at least for the first part of the season. So I don't think, because they all had different times where they were hot. Like Watson was great, then Dobbs was great, and then Reed was great towards the end. So we could be looking at a kind of beginning of the season, them figuring out their roles for sure.
Which is great for. So then here begs the question: Jordan Love. Everyone thinks he doesn't have any weapons. Is that true, or does he have good weapons?
I want to say, yeah, probably teetering on, that fine line between like mid and great.
Yeah.
I think we need another tier here. Does he have good weapons? Yes. Does he have great weapons?
Yeah.
It's to be
That's
seen.
what I'm
Does he
saying,
have
yeah.
elite weapons? Does he have like an elite wide receiver 1? Are we looking at like a Stephon Diggs or something? Like, no, he doesn't have that.
No.
Well, I don't know if we could say that's true, because Jaden Reed was a rookie last year, and look how he ended the season. We don't know yet.
Yeah, that's I think what we're saying. We
Jaden
don't know if
Reed,
he has elite.
Jaden Reed could be a first-round fantasy wide receiver in 2025. He could, he could have this huge breakout year this year and could be the next guy. I mean, Christian Watson ended the season huge the year before, and everybody was taking him as like a top, 12 receiver this past year. And he burned everybody because he burns his hamstrings. So
basically, he supposedly fixed that problem, though.
Yeah, I did read that. So, all right, let's move on. Did I skip the Bears?
Yeah, you skipped the Bears.
Okay. Well,
The Bears.
We'll go to the Bears. My bad. I skipped the Bears. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago. Chicago Bears, and this is going to be an interesting team to talk about because their key losses are Dan Feeney, Justin Fields, Dante Foreman, Darnell Mooney, Justin Jones, Nathan Peterman. But they had some fucking awesome additions, Dave. And why don't you tell me about those?
Chaz's man crush, Keenan Allen.
A top receiver in this league.
Yep.
Center Ryan Bates.
A top center in this league.
Safety Kevin Bayard.
A top safety in this league.
Yep.
Tight end Gerald Everett.
Jay's boy.
Safety Jonathan Owens. Guard Matt Pryor. Coleman Shelton and DeAndre Swift.
Who I'm not going to call him a top running back, but I love the talent of DeAndre Swift. So, and I think he could be. But didn't they bring in some kind of lauded rookie, Jay?
Yeah, they brought in Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze. So let's skip Caleb for now because that's going to be the biggest discussion. Last year, in his first year out of Detroit, getting traded on draft day, right? Yeah, I think DeAndre Swift got traded on draft day. First season out of Detroit, goes into week 1 to Philly, doesn't even start week 1, doesn't do anything, if my memory serves me correctly. And then from week 2 on, he was fucking fantastic, I feel. Not fantastic, but he finished up running back 20. And now he went to a team that won. And mind you, how you guys know, you're picking on me as much as I love DeAndre Swift. How many touchdowns do you think he lost to fucking Jalen Hurts? Right? Like,
Enough.
A lot.
Yeah,
you
I
know, five?
Probably, yeah.
Right? So you give him 5 touchdowns, right? That's so 5 times 6. That's 31 points. All right. So that would put him up in the category around James Cook at 12 overall. So that could have been where he was with just 5 more touchdowns. But he finished 20. I think him going to this team is great. They want him. They paid him. He's a pass-catching receiver with a rookie quarterback. I think he's going to be awesome. But I always feel that way about him.
You do always feel that way about him.
Yes, you do.
And he was awesome last year.
I don't necessarily disagree with you this year. I think DeAndre Swift is a safe play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Is he getting drafted? He finished 20. He's getting drafted above 20, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, more than
especially
likely.
just because of the hype around Chicago right now.
Good, you guys are on my side for once. Let's talk about the 3-headed monster. You know I love Keenan Allen, and I love DJ Moore too. And I love DJ Moore too, and I love Roma Dunze. So like, fuck. But I don't think you can buy in a Dunze. He's a distant third for his rookie season. He's got to be it. But towards the end of the season, when Keenan Allen gets hurt,
Yeah. I'm glad you said it.
and they got a great tight end too. So if I was to rank those 3 receivers in a PPR, I'm going Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, which is what we play in, and then Rome. And if it's like a standard, I might go DJ Moore first, but I don't really play in standard. So I'm going Keenan Allen. Dave, in your league, which is a half point because you want to make everything fucking difficult, I think I'm still going Keenan Allen. But I'll tell you what. If I draft Keenan Allen, I'm going to try to get Roma Dunze later because you know Keenan's going to get hurt.
I don't think there's any situation where I'm taking DJ Moore over Keenan Allen.
No.
He had a great year last year, dude.
He did, but like you know that exactly what we're talking about. The addition of Keenan Allen, they drafted a rookie that they love, DeAndre Swift. It just feels like the ball is getting spread around more. You know what I mean? Like DJ Moore is not the man anymore. His stats have to go down.
But here's the thing, Dave. What we're sleeping on is who had the better season in fantasy last year out of those 2?
Out of Keenan Allen and DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Well, probably DJ Moore, but if you took an average of like actual games played, like then it's Keenan Allen.
Yeah, for sure. But DJ Moore, where do you think he finished? DJ Moore.
He probably finished inside top 18.
You're going to go with the 18? How about 6th overall?
Yeah.
6 overall? That's
Yeah.
insane.
And to be fair though, to also Chez's point about like DJ Moore did better than Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen finished 8th and played 4 less games.
Absolutely. You know I love Keenan Allen. So but DJ Moore might be a little slept on. I don't think Keenan Allen just comes in and be the alpha dog. And by the way, they're very different wide receivers. The only reason I would take Keenan Allen above it is because of the PPR aspect, where he's kind of a PPR monster. DJ Moore is more of a big play guy. It's like Devontae Smith versus A.J. Brown. You know, like it's Jalen Waddle versus Tyreek Hill. You know, it's just that kind of which one's better.
Keenan Allen had 4 less games, and he only finished like 100 less yards receiving and 1 less touchdown.
Yeah, for sure. But he also had Justin Herbert and not fucking Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Or Tyson Bagent, too. So
yeah.
my thing was, as much as I love Keenan Allen, I just think DJ Moore might be slept on a little bit, and I feel that him finishing 6th shocked the hell out of Dave.
It certainly did. The problem with that, though, is like, you know, again, him finishing 6th, the hype around Chicago right now, I don't think anybody's sleeping on him. He's got to be getting drafted high.
How about this? He had a better year than Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, but he missed a game. But sure, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins. You know, he had better season. Chris Olave.
Yeah, but you gotta take that with a grain of salt because it's fluky, right? Mike Evans had a consistent season. DJ Moore had games of 4 touchdowns.
He had 49 points one week.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. If you're looking for a consistent like wide receiver too, would you really take DJ Moore over Mike Evans?
Right now,
Because I would.
I might because I'll tell you what, he's got just as much competition, and I'll tell you what, he's got the better quarterback.
I don't know.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
Caleb Williams is not better than Baker. Okay.
No. That's not what I was saying. I don't know about. I'm saying I don't know about your decision of DJ Moore over Mike Evans.
I think I might. He's also a little bit younger. So, but it's interesting. The tight end, Cole Kmet, I think he's your perfect guy to grab at like 10 or 11 or 12 and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right? All right, Caleb Williams, got to talk about it. I'm telling you, he's going to be in my top 12. Listen to those weapons we just talked about. And I get it. Oh, I'm not surrounded by all rookie haters today because Adam's not here. So I just got one rookie hater. But I know Dave's play. He's going to tell him Caleb Williams is going to be 13. It's going to be Dave's play, right? Am I right?
Oh, I mean, I haven't done my rankings yet. I honestly don't know what to do here because you know that I don't put a lot of faith in rookies. But this is probably one of the best situations that I've seen in a very long time. I think it would almost be foolish for me to be such a non-believer in rookies that I just totally faded on them. But I don't know. It's just another one of those situations, man, where it's like I'll probably rank them inside my top 12, but also in my heart of hearts, I know I'm probably not drafting him.
But he's so talented. It's not like compare these two. When Trevor Lawrence came in the league, he had nothing around him. Such a talented, lauded guy, nothing around him. But then somebody like Brock Purdy comes in the league with no, nothing behind him and gets on the talented team with the weapons and does great. This is a talented, bona fide number 1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner and runner-up, and goes to this team with all this fucking weaponry. It's wild. You don't see that.
Yeah, but okay. Think about how juiced we were on Anthony Richardson, right?
I got hurt. He was great.
Listen, man, you're yelling at me. Okay, think of how high we all were on Anthony Richardson, right? And a lot of us drafted Anthony Richardson in the 9th, 10th round. We drafted him late. You know what I mean? There's too much hype around this dude. There's going to be somebody in your draft that is just like, the Bears are going to be the best fucking team that ever existed, and I'm drafting Caleb Williams in the 4th round. That
really?
Know that shit is gonna happen.
You think so? That I don't know about that. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
I don't see it.
I'm with Dave on this. All the fucking hype and everything else. There's gonna be someone out there that's gonna be like, yeah, I'm taking Caleb Williams super fucking early. He's gonna be a monster.
Here's an honest question: why take C.J. Stroud over Caleb Williams? If you just compare the two, sure, C.J. Stroud has his 1 year in the NFL, which makes Adam think, oh my God, he's incredible. C.J. Stroud had a great year in the NFL. This kid, Caleb Williams was a better college quarterback than C.J. Stroud, a better prospect than C.J. Stroud, is coming to a team with better weapons than C.J. Stroud. So why would we take C.J. Stroud over Caleb Williams?
Because of you have to think about it in terms of a fantasy draft, and the reason you do that is because you can get C.J. Stroud so much later, and then earlier when you would have taken Caleb Williams, you get another piece of the puzzle that's better.
He is not. Caleb Williams is not. We'll see when we do this mock draft. He's not going above C.J. Stroud in mock drafts, at least. We'll see. It's an interesting debate.
We will see. I just think the hype around Chicago is so incredibly high right now that you are going to get people in your drafts that come in with a head full of steam, hard on for Chicago, and these dudes are going to go early.
Well, the draft we're going to do is an ADP draft, so we'll find out what's happening. Let's get to the last team to talk about quickly because I want to do this draft now. Is the Minnesota Vikings. They have the most highest paid player in NFL history that's not a quarterback, right?
Yep.
Dumb.
I believe. They brought in some good stuff. Blake Cashman, Sam Darnold, Jonathan Greenard, Shaq Griffin, Aaron Jones, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jihad Ward, and Jonah Williams. They lost Kirk Cousins, Marcus Davenport, Jordan Hicks, Daniil Hunter, Craig Joseph, the President of the United States, Alexander Madison, That's all that matters. Brought in J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold. I don't think it matters who's starting. I'm really interested, though, to see how J.J. does with the new quarterback. He did pretty good last year without him, still, without Cousins, because Cousins hurt himself. He did pretty good without him. But I think this team is rebuilding, and I still am going to buy into J.J. as a top 3 or 4 wide receiver. He's not going to be my number 1. He's not going to be my number 2, and we'll see where he goes from there. I'll buy into Aaron Jones on his like a last hurrah. And maybe I'll buy into Addison. Hawk's going to be hurt most of the year. I don't know. I don't really care about this team, to be honest.
I think there's value to be had here. Like you said, nobody's really sold on this team. They all think it's in a rebuild. No, I'm also a little bit nervous about JJ, but like you said, man, I think Aaron Jones is a sneaky play, a dude that you can get that no one really gives a shit about, where it's like if you faded on your RB2 and you went elsewhere, you could probably do worse.
Yeah,
sure.
Probably.
He'll get some catches, either from rookie or check down Darnold.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just not high on anybody. Off the top of your head, Jay, where are you putting
Double J here again.
wide receiver rankings? Above? Is he 1?
No. He's probably.
Is he
he's-
2?
No.
Okay. Are you taking JJ or Jamar?
Jamar.
Oh my goodness, I've been calling that for years too. That's wild. Okay, so that's where I'm sure you guys are both probably taking Tyreek above him and Lamb.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
CD.
So for me, it might end up. I still love Jamar Chase. It's gonna be surprising. It's gonna be wild because why are people putting CD Lamb after one good season over Jamar? Well, I guess Jamar's only had one good season. Okay. So, you know what I mean? So, I guess it's fair. But, allegedly, Jamar has the best quarterback out of all of them. So, that's why I still don't know where I'm going to put CD Lamb. It's going to be weird. My wide receiver rankings are going to be rough because I want to say it's Jamar Chase, even though I loved CD Lamb last year as well coming into the season, and Tyreek always puts up good numbers. So, it's interesting.
I had CD Lamb. He won me my championship
Me
last
too.
year. I'm probably still going. I'm still going Chase 1. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going Chase 1, maybe even Tyreek 2, then CD 3.
Okay. I thought I was the only one leaning towards Chase going 1. Okay.
No.
I'm leaning towards it. I really am. So, all right. So who's winning the NFC North?
I have no idea.
This is probably the tightest one, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it between two teams, or are we putting the Bears in the race?
I mean,
I think with all the weapons, you got to kind of put the Bears possibly in the race. It all depends on Caleb Williams, though.
you got to kind of put them in there. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the Bears are in the discussion for wild card. I think this is what it boils down to. One of those two upstart teams between Detroit and Green Bay is going to have a bad year. And I think one of them are going to miss the playoffs.
you think?
I do. I think one of them is going to have a bad year. Chicago's going to surprise some people. I think Chicago could get their name into the wild card. But I just think one of those two teams in the same division is going to have a down year.
My gut says Love takes the next step and they win the division. That's what my gut says, but I don't know.
I'm going with Green Bay, too.
You going with Green Bay too?
Yeah, I just think you're right. I think Love is going to get himself up there in the conversations of oh, you got Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, but then on the next level you got, you know what I mean? Love might get his way into the back end conversation. People are already anointing CJ Stroud there after 1 year. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I think Green Bay is going to win, and I think Detroit might have a down year. That doesn't mean they're going to win 4 games, but I think they might make the playoffs.
I think it's probably going to be the Packers if I had to guess right now.
Wow, I thought I was going to be the only one on that. Guys, I emailed you a link to the sleeper. I don't know if you got it.
Email.
Well, what else do you want me to do? In the chat? I can do it in the
Guys,
chat.
emails are a thing.
I forgot about the chat. Here, I'll do it in the chat for you. Hang on. Oh, well, you know what? If anyone's in the chat and wants to do the sleeper thing, I'll put it in the chat. You guys could come and do the sleeper draft with us. Come on. Why can't I paste it? I guess I can't put it in the chat. It won't let me put it in the chat. Let's try it one more time.
That's all right. I got it.
Okay. So 12 team sleeper. There's 3 of us. So I'm going to go in the middle. One of you guys take 1. One of you guys take 12.
Boom.
So Dave took 12. So Jay, you're taking Juan.
All right.
So looking at the way they have it ranked right here as the receivers, they got Jamar Chase as the 4th wide receiver.
They do have Jefferson over him.
Yeah.
Oh. CD number 1.
Yeah, so that's their rankings here. What was our other discussion where Caleb was going, right? So let's see. Caleb is going pretty late. Caleb's going before Brock Purdy, after Jordan Love. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they got him about 11 or 12
Okay.
in rankings. And they have Jordan Love at like 10. Wild to me.
Yeah, this is wild.
All right, we're all here. Jay, you're picking first. I'm picking 6th. Dave, you're picking 12th. We're doing I believe it's the Fantasy Football Bros League with the double flex.
Doogie doogie.
Yeah, we got the double flex. We're not going to do any fun things right now about like changing each other's picks. We're just going to have an honest-to-goodness draft and see where people get drafted. All right, boys, here we go. Starting it now. Jay Coleman. Oh, James said he wants to do it. Hang on. Do we want to do it? Hang on. Can we add somebody?
God damn it.
Sorry, you made it too late, James. I'm sorry. We'll do one with you after. I'll do one with you after offline. We'll do one to get the sleeper app on your phone. Okay, so we started off. Oh, I'm not sharing screen. Shit. Hang on. Let me share my screen.
Hey, if you want to share your screen, he can get in here. Restart the shit.
Restart it, James. Restart it, James.
James, you're in, bro.
Yeah, I'll get a new one for us going. Sorry, everybody at home. James, I'll try to post it in the chat again. It wasn't letting me. Let me try one more time.
Ask for audience participation and then goes, you know what? Fuck it.
Well, we started it, but why won't it let me paste this link in the chat?
I don't know. Just fucking email it like a normal person.
I don't know, just email. All right, we get it. All right. Copy link. Link copied. Post in the chat. Paste.
In the Twitch chat?
Yeah, it won't let me paste this link in the chat.
Oh, just email it to me.
To you?
Yeah, email it to me.
But I'm trying to get James in.
Yeah, I'll put it in your chat.
You'll put it in the chat. All right, James, we're going to put it in the chat for you. Sorry, people at home. I suck here. Sorry, people at home. All right, so Jay, if you guys are bored, just skip ahead a little bit. Sorry, people at home. Okay, here we go. Sending you the link, and then you try to put it in the chat for James because it won't fucking do it for me. No matter what I do, it will not copy it and paste it. Goose! What's up, Goose? You're about to see a mock draft coming. Oh, I got it now. Now it's going in the chat. There we go. There it is, James. Or anybody. If anybody wants to join the fantasy draft, it is in the chat. Have the sleeper app. I'm picking 6.
Well, are we doing? We got 4. Are we doing 1, 4?
It don't matter. I'm picking
12.
6. Jay pick 1. Dave take 12 like we did before, and then you guys pick wherever.
Okay.
So let's see who comes in here. So I'm going to at least wait for James. I don't know if Goose is coming or not, but Goose is working now.
All right, what the fuck is going on?
All right, James, join that up. This is the fun you get when you watch the Fantasy Football Bros live on the Chazcast.
We do big things.
We have fun. And watch James go, I'm not coming. I don't have the app.
You probably bailed when you told him to fuck off.
It says I should be in. Did you pick a spot, James? Oh, you did. There he is. I'm sorry. James took 8. All right, guys. Goose ain't doing it. So we got if St. Joe's here still, he would do it, but he's an old man and in bed. So Jay's picking first. I'm picking 6. James, our buddy, is picking 8th, and Zags is picking 12th. So let me share the screen. Meow for everybody.
Let's get this going.
I know. Shut up. You're the one that was late.
We start early so I can go to bed early, and here it is. It's almost about time when we normally finish.
Speaking of old man, Jesus.
Fuck.
Okay.
Not all of us get to sleep till fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my God. All right, here we go, boys. Starting the draft. All right, Jay, you're on the clock. I know what you did before, but why don't you tell us who you're taking?
CMC.
CMC. Not afraid of the Madden curse.
No question. CMC versus everyone.
Not afraid of the Madden curse. Here I am. It went CMC, Tyreek Hill. Okay, Jamar went as a second receiver. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. Do I take Amon-Ra St. Brown, or am I going to take a gamble on my baby boy with a much better head coach? And I am. I'm going to take Bijan here.
Wow.
Of course
Then
you are.
Puka. 7th overall, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love Bijan, you know that, and he doesn't have Arthur Smith anymore. So they drafted a very conservative, defensive-minded head coach that likes to run the ball. Give me Bijan Robinson. Thank you. Puka, that's early. That's a reach.
That is.
Puka at 7th overall is a reach. It's a reach.
That's tough.
I mean, I would have easily taken Amon-Ra over it. So James is on the clock, minute and a half left. Let's see how he wants to start his draft here. Come on, James. There we go. And he went Jahmyr Gibbs after all we talked about. And then Breece Hall. Breece Hall falling to 10th overall. And then we had Garrett Wilson in the first round. Ridiculous. Why is that happening?
Ridiculous.
So we're at the end with you, Dave. You're looking at your best running backs available are JT, Kyron Williams, Quan. Your best receivers are available are A.J. Brown, Marvin Harrison, Devontae Adams, Drake London. I don't know why Drake London is.
You ready for this stack?
What you got? What do you stack?
Bam.
A.J. Brown and Kyron Williams. Okay. And then it went Marvin Harrison and then Drake London. Why is Drake London going here? Why?
No clue.
Why is Drake London going?
No clue.
I get it. He's got a better quarterback now, but
Team
Jesus.
11 left me A.J. Brown for Garrett Wilson.
And then Taylor and Saquon went back to back, and then Olave went. So I'm up on the board right now. I'm happy that I got Bijan because the best running backs available are Etienne, A-Chain, Jacobs, Henry. I'm not comfortable with that. All the fucking receivers are flying off the board too, though. But you know what? I know he's kind of slept on, but he's still sitting there, and I'm comfortable in the middle of the second round to take Devontae Adams. So I'm going to take Devontae Adams here. You know the guy's going to produce. It's over Ayuk. It's over Stephon Diggs. Over Mike Evans. Yeah, I'm going to take him here. So Devontae Adams. Then we had a Laporta sighting. A-Chan. Josh Allen goes with the second last pick of the second round. And you're on the clock, Jay. You started with CMC. What's your next attack?
Oh, boy. Fucking wide receivers. Holy shit.
That's why it's scary to start with a running back now, but there's still many good ones. I mean, just scroll down a little bit. I mean, you're still looking at Amari Cooper like 20 picks away and stuff. So I don't think you're dead if you don't get. But you have your chance to take one and another running back if you choose, or double up on them now. Or are you thinking Travis Kelce? I almost said Travis Henry. You better not be thinking Travis Henry.
He knows the moves. He knows.
I normally would go double running back, but I'm just going to do something different for this draft.
So you did go Kelce. So
Yeah.
now your team can talk about Taylor Swift the whole time.
Yep.
I think that's a great pick there. So you took Nico Collins over Stephon Diggs. Okay.
Yep.
And then it went Etienne, Josh Jacobs, then Diggs. They went two apart. And then look who went next. DJ Moore went before Keenan Allen, Dave. So that's
crazy.
That's what we were saying. But looking at the
legitimately
rankings here, Keenan Allen, I don't even fucking see. He's ranked 54 player overall.
That's bananas.
Yeah, that's insane.
So DJ Moore, I think you guys might be sleeping on him a little bit. So that's all. So looking at what we got here, I love him. He's still sitting here. I got to take him in the middle of the third round with King Henry. I'll take it.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts, Michael Pittman, James. You started with two running backs. That's a little absurd nowadays. So James has got Gibbs and Taylor. Great picks, by the way.
I was so close to taking Josh Jacobs over Kelsey, but the
So
two
then he
running back thing is scary now.
James takes Mike Evans, and then it goes Deebo Samuel and Pacheco and Dave. So what's your next stack? You doing the same kind of stack?
No, actually, I'm gonna do something different here. This is gonna be very interesting. Because I already have Kyron.
Are you thinking about Cup?
Yeah, I was thinking about Cup here. I mean, it's so late for him, man. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I really like Lamar this year. I'm gonna grab him.
Wow, that's so un-Dave-like.
Yeah, it really is. And like Neighbors is just unproven. Obviously, as a rookie, I know he's gonna be good. Waddle, I'm not high on. Rachaad White was like, I mean, he was legit, but like, do I really want to roll into RB2 with Rachaad White? I don't know.
Well, Goose called. You're taking Cup and Lamar. I just showed it on the stream right now. So is he right?
Is he? You know what, dude? I'm just gonna lock up my tight end and be done with it.
You took McBride. That I feel. Well, maybe not. I mean, but I feel that's a bit early. McBride in the 4th. So, Dave, you taking McBride in the 4th. Should I consider keeping him in our Fantasy Football Bros League at such a late pick because he was free agent? You're comfortable with him in the 4th?
I am comfortable. Okay. Yeah, I am comfortable with him in the 4th. Well, I mean, this is a mock, so I probably took him earlier than I normally would have. But if you're saying you're getting McBride as like a 7th, 8th round pick, like, yeah, I'm fine with that. Keep it.
Well, it would be a whatever because he was a free agent. James went with C.J. Stroud. James Cook off the board. Malik Neighbors in the 2nd round. Rachaad White, and right before I came back, they took Jalen Waddle. Fuck, I wanted him too. But Dave, I'm taking your boy. I'm taking Cooper Kupp here.
Not a bad pick.
And then it went Metcalf, Mahomes, Kenneth Walker, Mark Andrews, and Jay. You're back on the board. Goose is asking, is it a reach around? You mean snake draft? Yeah, it's a snake draft.
I'm going to take
I can feel comments on stream.
Wow,
Kamara, and I'm going to do my guy Keenan.
Kamara and Keenan. So you got Keenan in the 5th, where Moore went in the 3rd. So interesting to see. Devontae Smith, Joe Mixon, Zay Flowers, Tank Dell. And you know what? I called him out earlier and saying that I think he's a little underrated, and he's still sitting there. So I'm going to take Amari Cooper here. And then we got the Terminator, James Conner, Christian Kirk in the 5th. Is that high for Christian Kirk? I guess not.
I mean, the way that this draft's going with the 7,000 wide receivers off the board, yeah, that's probably fine.
And then we're waiting on James, who I wonder if James actually took C.J. Stroud. So C.J. Stroud was the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th quarterback up the board. Why am I so wrong? Am I so wrong thinking that's absurd?
I don't know. It's pretty early to me, but
I don't think so.
Wow, that seems crazy. James wants to know, is it a Hachtua draft?
I'm saying you're not crazy for thinking it's absurd. I mean, there's dudes out here that I would rather have than C.J. Stroud right now.
Why is C.J. Stroud burning so bright? James, tell me in the chat why you took him so earlier. Please tell me it was a computer pick. T. Higgins, George Pickens, George Brittle, and then Dave, you're back on the clock right now. Do you regret taking Trey McBride there? That there's still Dalton Kincaid, Evan Ingham, Kyle Pitts, David Njoku. Do you regret that pick?
Not really, because I'm like, honestly, I'm comfortable with McBride, and I'm gonna stack 2 running backs here that I'm pretty fine with. I'll take Aaron Jones right here and DeAndre Swift.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh my God, Xavier Worthy, holy shit! And then Dalton Kincaid. Wow. So James says he does like C.J. Stroud, and he's gonna ball out. Okay, so he's got good wide receivers, young, athletic, and make play with his legs. So why not take Jordan Love then, James? Why not take Jordan Love there? Well, not there, but later in the draft. We'll see. He's on the board right now. James is on the board right now. You fucked me with that DeAndre Swift pick, man. I wanted him so bad.
Let's stack those 2 running backs right there. Like I'm fine with
no,
that.
great pick. Great. I'm eyeballing somebody right now. You better fall to me. And he does not. Team 8 takes Anthony Richardson, you dick. Whoever Team 8 is. James took Roma Dunze. Wait, man, you weren't listening to the podcast, man. Rashi Rice goes, Roma Dunze, and I was not desperately, but I was looking at Richardson there, but nope, he gone. So we're not going to pull the trigger. So far I'm looking at, I got Bijan Robinson, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper. Not bad start at all. We're in the 6th round. Hate me all you want. He's coming back, baby. Kyle Pitts. Joe Burrow, Ramondre Stevenson, Terry McLaurin, David Montgomery. And the end of the 6th round, Jay, you're up for 2.
I'm going to take Reed here.
Jaden Reed. Okay.
Yep. And then, oh boy. Fuck it. I'm going to take Dak.
Not bad.
Doing it.
Jordan Addison, Brock Bowers in the 7th round. Nick Chubb goes in the 7th. I know we were looking at him. So Nick Chubb's in the 7th. All right. So I only have 2 running backs. I got Bijan and Henry. I got 2 running backs. There's somebody sitting here that I think is being slept on this year, and I'm taking him. And that's going to be Najee Harris. And the reason I say that is everybody's sleeping on Najee Harris because he's the big, kind of bumbly guy, and everybody wants to jerk off over Jalen Warren. Dave, who is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers? Arthur Smith.
Okay.
And does Arthur Smith like the younger, more athletic backs?
I mean, they'll run the ball 5,000 times this season.
And is he going to run it with the athletic, exciting back or the big, bumbly guy?
Bumbles.
So I think people are sleeping on Najee Harris a lot this year. To get him in the 7th round, I'm very happy with that. So, okay, James takes Jake Ferguson. Then we got Tony Pollard, and after Tony Pollard, we've got
Hey there, little fella.
Kyler Murray. And Dave, you're on the clock for 2.
Okay, so this is where I kind of screwed myself.
You've got 1 receiver right
I've
now.
got 1 receiver right now, so I'm just straight up going to take Godwin and Hopkins and hope that one of them is good.
Jay, did you see that coming? Team 10 for Jordan Love.
I knew the D-Hop was going to be a pick there.
So there's a lot of quarterbacks in the top 8 picks, in the top 8 rounds here.
There really is.
I mean, Jordan Love just went. Fucking Murray's gone. Prescott, Richardson, Burrow, Mahomes, Hurts, Stroud, Jackson, Allen. Like, fuck. Am I the only one without one? No, there's still a couple teams without one. I can always pick Tua. And then Christian Watson goes, Jigba, Deontay Johnson. I'm on the clock. You know what? I've been talking him up. Let's fucking go. Caleb Williams. I mean, I have to. All the quarterbacks are gone. Zamir White, Javonte Williams, Brock Purdy, Austin Eckler. That was a pick out of necessity because there was only one other team without a quarterback, and he took one. So I had to. And I was getting, and I even said I'm taking Caleb over Brock Purdy. So there we go. I was true to my word.
Caleb over Jared Goff?
Yeah, Goff was still there. You're right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I didn't see Goff there, but honestly, all right. Jay took Brian Thomas Jr.
I don't even know this guy, but I need another running back. So
Jonathan Brooks, the rookie running back in Carolina. Lad McConkey, Zach Moss, Jalen Warren, David and Njoku. Back to me now. I'll get that one of those later. Here we go. I want you to announce this pick. Are you ready? Are you looking at my screen? You ready? Announce the pick. Ready? Go.
Wow.
We went with Keon Coleman from the Buffalo Bills. Why not?
such a homer.
Trey Benson, Dallas Goedert, and James is on the clock. Well, why not?
Ridiculous.
I was actually between Keon and Brian Thomas Jr. So.
Yeah, why not? Who's got the better quarterback? So James is on the clock. He is in need. I kind of like what James did. I didn't like C.J. Stroud earlier, but his team solidified it. He took the 2 running backs early, but he got good receivers later in the draft.
He did. Higgins is a little bit of a question mark.
He went with Devin Singletary, and then we went Hawk and Schultz. So Team 8 has 2 tight ends. They took Ingram and Goddard. Interesting.
Balls.
Were you looking at one of them? No, you weren't.
Yeah, I wanted Hawk right there.
What? You've got McBride in the 4th.
Doesn't matter.
All right, you can start 2 of them. 2 of them.
Okay.
Tua. Sorry.
Balls, man. Balls.
What's your thought
Do
process?
I really want to do this? Do I really want to do that? Like, I'm just taking flyers on wide receivers right now because I waited so fucking long. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's go ahead and just do it because who knows?
Oh, Curtis Samuel. That I was gonna get him on my way back after Coleman. Actually, if you don't
Who
believe.
knows? And I don't know, dude. I talked this dude up when we were talking about the Colts. They need a wide receiver too. So.
And then Mitchell, Jamison Williams, Tajay Spears. I'll tell you what. Even though I took Keon Coleman there, he was ranked higher. When I do my rankings, I think I might have Samuel above him.
I feel like it's a toss-up. Like,
Yeah.
we're just not gonna know who the number.
It's a
one's
rookie.
Gonna be.
We know better. It's a rookie on the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
so we know the answer
Well.
already.
Yeah.
We don't
Who's gonna be better in the first 4 weeks? We know the answer. Like end of season, who's gonna be the better player to have? Who knows?
So Romeo Dobbs and then Blake Corum. I'm going to take a guy here who I'm surprised is still sitting here. He had 10 touchdowns last year. Why is Cortland Sutton still there in the 10th? Right? That don't seem right?
Just the least sexy wide receiver ever.
Yeah. But in the 10th?
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Gus Edwards, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels went before Jared Goff. But, the wheels. Got to have the wheels. And then Zeke. Zeke's a good pick there. Zeke's the number 1 running back in Dallas, folks. Newsflash.
Wild.
Right? But he is.
Yeah, I know.
Newsflash, folks. That's the number 1 running back. And then I just got shot in the ass, Brian Robinson. I couldn't draft
Love
him.
that
'cause
guy.
I can't have Brian Robinson and Bijan Robinson. I can't do it.
No, you can't do that.
That's asking for trouble. And then Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Khalil Shakir, Cole Kmet. So Justin Herbert just went. I was gonna take him to hedge my bets with Caleb Williams, but it did not fall my way. But I'm going to hedge my bets with Caleb Williams with Trevor Lawrence. Why the fuck not? I was high on him last year. Whatever. Hedging my bets. Chase Brown, Jacoby Myers, James is on the clock. Ah, man. I was hoping to get either Jaden Daniels or Justin Herbert there. They both went to hedge my bets. Sons of bitches. And they both took backup quarterbacks, too. Fuckers. But that's how it's going to be in a real draft, right?
Basically.
You got to remember that. I mean, we're in the 11th round here. And then we'll go over our teams, and they'll be in. Oh, then we went Aaron and Matthew Stafford, Xavier Legette, and James. James took Aaron Rodgers. You're on the clock, Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this dude. I was higher on this dude last year. I just like him. I think he's got some talent.
Luke Musgrave.
Fuck, dude. Oh, these running backs are just fucking abysmal. They really are.
Yeah, they are.
Good lord. Do I do it? Do I
Do
do it?
Whatever it is, do it.
No, I talk so much shit about him. I can't do it.
Do it.
These are just bullshit. All of this is bullshit. So we're in crap territory. Whatever. Give me Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, Jerome Ford, Joshua Downs, and James is up. There's somebody I'm staring at that I don't think should be here, and let's see if I get him. I don't think he should be here. I really don't. But we'll see if I get him because I've got 3 picks and things happen for a reason. So we'll see. Especially in the 12th round. This guy I'm looking at shouldn't be there. I can't wait to go over our rosters. Mine looks pretty good.
Mistakes were made.
Are you regretting Trey McBride yet? So Charbonnet, whatever, I can't remember. Jay Wright, the running back from Miami. Oh, remember this guy everyone loved for a while? Pat Fryermuth?
Yeah.
Yes.
We loved him for a while. I don't know about these running backs. And I only have 3.
Yeah, running back went off a cliff, right?
Yeah, and I only have fucking 3. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 receivers. So, yeah, I guess I got to go running back here. I'm going to take Rico Dowdle just because Zeke's old. J.K. Dobbins, Chuba Hubbard, Troy Franklin, Big Booty Jerry Jeudy. That was the receiver I was staring at. Sitting there in the late 12th. I feel like he should have been a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we still got 5 picks to go, 2 of them being defense and kicker. So really 3 more players on your rosters here. And this is a deeper bench because this is the Fantasy Football Bros League rules. Ricky Pearsall, okay. Jonnu Smith, Tyson Chandler, Gabe Davis, Joshua Palmer,
Fuck.
Keandre Miller. Who you fucking?
Mistakes were made.
Fucking
My
Palmer?
fucking tight ends have the same goddamn bye week.
Yeah, it's fine. That is a mistake. Here's a guy that I think people are sleeping
why I said
on
mistakes
in
were
a
made.
new offense with a new offense with a rookie quarterback. How about a little pass catching back by the name of Antonio Gibson? Right? In the 13th round.
That was my pick.
Gibson,
Yeah.
Cade Otton, Brandon Cooks, James is on the clock. So remember, you guys got about you Dave, you got 3 more players, and then we'll be at the kicker and defense. Well, you can draft them whenever you want, but nobody's drafted a kicker to defense, which is not going to happen in your drafts at home, folks.
Definitely not.
People will be drafting kickers and defenses as soon as fucking possible. Rashid Shaheed, there he is. Quentin Johnston, Marshawn Lloyd, and Dave, you're up for 2.
You know what, dude? I'm going to be honest. I waited so long on running back, and this is so abysmal. I think I literally just need to fucking start backing people up at this point. So give me some Roshan Johnson.
It's your fucking boy anyway.
I love him, dude.
You love that.
I really do. These are just absolutely. This is guys. Running back falls off a freaking cliff. And I'm going to go ahead and do this just to make Chaz mad.
He takes Algier, Adam Thielen. He takes a fucking this motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
He takes a fucking kick away. Hey, a kicker. I got a sleeper pick I'm gonna have soon, but I think he's gonna fall to me. So I'm gonna wait on him. But why won't you add to my queue? Can I not add you to my queue? Okay, I guess not. What is happening here? That's my sleeper pick right there. Unless one of you take him. But we'll see. There, James Tickers. Oh, you started it, Aubrey. Baker Mayfield goes in the 14th round. That was a top 10 QB last year, guys. Top 10 QB. You know what? Why is he still there? He shouldn't be there. Yeah, I'm going to take Jahan Dotson here. Guy was a first-round pick 2 years ago. Why is he still there? Ben Sinnott, Evan McPherson, Jalen Polk, Isaiah Likely. Jay, you're up for 2?
Fucking
Your final.
Dave ruining the kicker run.
Yeah, Dave's starting the kicker
Fucking
run.
asshole. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. I know it, but
Russell Westbrook Wilson.
Nice.
Unlimited.
hey, at most I need him for 1 week, so I'll take a flyer. Oh boy.
Oh, Joe St. Joe's back in the chat. Sorry, didn't see you guys there. We were busy playing. Nobody is picking Spencer Rattler, bud. Don't you worry about it. James with the message of the day so far. Judy is duty. All
Good
right.
Lord.
What just happened? The kicker run. Young
Kicker
Ho
run.
Koo, Tyler Bass, Davion Weeks, Jake Elliott.
Dave and the kicker run over here.
It started a thing, guys.
You did.
Let's go. We talked about him glowingly last the rookie episode. Braylon Allen from the Jets. Jaleel McLaughlin, Ray Davies from the Bills. James is up. You know what running back is still there and I can't take, so you could take him, Dave, which would probably be smart.
Huh.
It would have been smart if Jay took him. Elijah Mitchell
Yeah,
is
that's who I'm taking.
yeah.
If he's still there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Unless James is going to take him now because he hurt. No, he took Roman Wilson, and then J.J. McCarthy, and yeah, Elijah Mitchell. That's a good late pick.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, everything is just garbage. Just absolutely.
You loved
garbage.
Khalil Herbert for a while too.
No, I'm not taking 3 Chicago running backs.
What about Keaton Mitchell? Super late. Guy had one good game every year. Saints Joe was about to marry him.
Yeah, he really was. You know what? Whatever.
Darnell Mooney, Daniel
I
Carlson.
believe in Kirky. He'll throw him some balls.
You know what? I messed up, and I didn't take my backup tight end that I thought was going to be the sleeper. But I'm going to take him anyway. I'm just not going to draft a kicker because I want to talk about him. But my backup tight end that I think is really low, that shouldn't be so low, is Greg Dulcich. Guy who had a really good year 2 years ago, and then was injured last year. And now he's his second year in a Sean Payton system who tends to use tight ends pretty well. I mean, am I wrong for thinking Greg Dulcich is a sleeper? Like a late sleeper? I mean, I took him in the fucking 16th round.
I mean, it's whatever. If it pans out, you look like a fucking genius.
I mean, I am a genius.
I wouldn't go that far,
Yeah,
but
that's fucking.
Deshaun Watson in the 16th. How the mighty have fallen. That guy was the number one fantasy quarterback. Well, maybe not, but the number one like in passing yards in the league. Like what, 4 years ago?
He's doo-doo.
He is. So I guess I'm not taking a defensive player because I wanted to talk about Greg Dulcich. But this is my draft, and I can can do what I want.
But we still got a round left.
But I still didn't take kicker either.
Oh.
So, because that Braylon Allen pick was supposed to be Dulcich, but I want to talk about Dulcich. I think he's a sleeper. Jay, did you take a white running back?
yep.
There's a white running back?
Yes, sir.
No, that's not
Apparently.
allowed. That's not allowed. Here, I have the power, Jay. Ready? Jay, who do you got now? Jay, why'd you draft Will Levis, Jay?
I wouldn't.
Why did you draft Will Levis?
Fucking Team 8 ruined my whole fucking last pick for me.
I can't believe that. I can't believe you took Will Levis. Like, what the fuck? Who does that? I can't believe you fucking did that. Dave, what's with your last pick over there?
Matty Ice, bro. He's coming back. After Deshaun Watson shits the bed, he's going to come back and play for the fucking Browns and take them to the playoffs.
Is Tim Tebow still available? James would take Tim Tebow.
Yeah, it would.
James would take Tim Tebow.
I can't believe Team 8 took Vidal.
Vidal Sassoon? All right, let's pull up your rosters. I'll let me see here. I'll do James's for him, not his rosters, but his draft. James took Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Mike Evans, C.J. Stroud, T. Higgins, Roma Dunze, Jake Ferguson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devlin Singletary, Romeo Dobbs, Aaron Rodgers, Zach Charbonnet, Raheem Shaheed, Harrison Butker, Roman Williams, Taysom Hill, and the Seahawks defense. I think James did a great job. Honestly, James is a baller. James has been playing forever. Jay, you had first overall pick. Let's hear your roster.
CMC, Travis Kelce, Nico Collins, Alvin Kamara, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed, Dak Prescott, Brian Thomas, Jonathan Brooks, Brian, I just got shot in the ass, Robinson, Mike Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Jonnu Smith, Russell Westbrook Wilson, Washington Commanders, Fairbairn, and I didn't take a last pick because you switched it out, so I'm not saying.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about. I have no idea what you're fucking talking about. And then I was team 6, and I took Bijan Robinson, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Kyle Pitts, Najee Harris, Caleb Williams, Keon J. Coleman, Cortland Sutton, Trevor Lawrence, Rico Dowdle, Antonio Gibson, Jahan Dotson, Braylon Allen, Greg Dulcich, and the San Francisco 49ers. I like my fucking team a lot. And Zags, what did you end up with?
We ended up with A.J. Brown, Kyron Williams, Lamar Jackson, Trey McBride, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Curtis Samuel, Mitchell, Musgrave, Cousins, Roshan Johnson, Tucker, Mitchell, and I forget who you root, but apparently I have Matty Ice now and the Eagles defense.
Does anyone? I love my team. Does anyone hate their team? Love their team?
Mine's okay.
Mine's okay too. I was super juiced after like my first 3 picks, and then I don't know, it just went south.
I'll tell you what. My team
No,
taking.
you know what? After my first 5 picks, I was just like, this is going south real quick.
People load up on the running backs lately in fantasy football. Team 5 took 5 wide receivers. I'm sorry. Team 5 took 5 wide receivers in a row. So me taking Bijan in the first round, I was a little afraid. But I took Bijan, and I took Derrick Henry in the third, so I took 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. But my receivers still ended up as Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, like Cortland Sutton and Keon Coleman. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm totally okay with having Bijan, Derrick Henry, and then Devontae and Cooper Kupp. I love it. And then Cooper and Amari Cooper and Najee Harris. I think it came out great. So I was very, very, very happy with my draft. This was a long episode, but we haven't done a draft yet this year. So that was our first team draft there. So longest episode in a while. Jay, thanks for staying awake.
Yep.
All right, Dave. You want to plug anything? You know you do.
No, I'm good. Follow this podcast.
My
Like,
goodness.
subscribe. Do all the things, guys. Do all the things, guys.
Thank you to everybody that came and hang out in the chat. Like, this is getting a little more fun now with the more people in the chat and stuff. So, and then lastly, James, I'll put on your one last text here of Big Dick Will Levis. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the stream and enjoying the episode. Until then, we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
See you later,
Later,
guys.
boys.